Hello, everyone. We are live on the air. This is the Red Scare episode 4 live Google Hangout chat. Some of you are watching us on Google Plus. Some of you are maybe watching us on Facebook, and some of you might be watching after the fact on YouTube. If you're watching live, you are welcome to ask us questions using the Q&A button, or on the Facebook page. There's a little comment section down at the bottom that we'll be monitoring. And we'll try to find questions anywhere else that you post them. There's a little yellow showcase button that should have a link to episode 4 in case you haven't watched it yet and want to. And so yeah, now I'm here with a couple of guests. We have Brianne Howey, who is Audrey.
Hi.
There's Brianne. We have Kelly Spada, who is our casting director, who brought our amazing cast together. If you're watching live, you are welcome to ask us questions using the Q&A button. Sorry, I am monitoring a couple too many things, and I was just introducing Kelly. Say hello, Kelly.
Hello, Kelly. Hi, everyone.
And then Brittany Ross theoretically should be joining us soon, and she plays Lois. Let me see, actually.
So there's a Q&A button on our Facebook? How cool is that?
Oh, I should get on there.
I didn't even know that. Amazing.
Brittany's having a couple of technical issues.
Oh, I see.
So this is the really exciting part of the chat. Where we deal with all. So I guess let's start by maybe introducing yourselves a little, talking about how you guys came to Red Scare, and go from there.
Sure. I guess I'll go first since I predated you, Brianne. So I'm Kelly Spada, and when Sam and I have a mutual friend who he showed Red Scare to, and at the time I was doing a lot of casting for like Disney Channel and teen age things, and so I knew a lot of actors in that age group. And so Jamie thought that our mutual friend thought that this would be a great team for us to kind of get together. And so Sam and I met, and then I met with Tom and read the script and gave them some ideas for specific people who I had in mind based on reading the characters. And then we started about the audition process for the other roles. Although we made people read for all of them, a few people who we thought of at the beginning were actually the people we cast. Then we cast for a couple, I don't know, a few weeks, a few months? I don't even remember now.
I have no sense. It felt like a really long cast.
It was long. It was pretty long. And it was May, I guess, of 2011, and we didn't actually start shooting until August, and so it was a process, and we had one actor and then lost an actor to, a network television show, so we had to kind of scramble and redo after that. But we were so glad when we found Brianne, because the Audrey role is really it's hard. It's a very what is the word, like, to be kind of 1950s and soft and yet still be interesting is really tricky. And, Brianne came in and just was this, like, leader, and we were able to kind of see her in this role. And so that was fun. How many times did we make you read, Brianne? I don't even know.
It was a handful of times, because initially I came in for Lois.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that audition, then you guys brought me in for Audrey, and then it was like a few more times coming in.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then we had to read Kevin.
Brittany, are you here? Brittany does not have video yet, but Brittany is here.
Hi,
hello.
Brittany.
Hi. You see your picture.
Can we hear her?
Brittany, can you hear us?
She's over in the chat window, but not in the audio or visual portion.
Oh, is she chatting to us?
It just says Brittany Ross has joined the group chat.
Nice. Well, Brittany, you might need to allow like Google Plus to access your video camera or something like that. You might need to check off a little thing in the top. Open Capture Smile.
I don't know what that is.
Sure.
Cool.
Oh, now we can take pictures, I guess.
Oh,
Nice.
so fancy.
So weird.
You might also be muted or camera turned off at the top. If that
I want to take a picture now.
But
She invited us to do. That's fun.
it's always a little up and man down.
No, bye, Brittany.
Wait, hold on.
I'm gonna put my hair up on camera. It's gonna be great.
Let's see. There you go. You're doing it. Somehow I am now controlling the camera, and I don't really want to be doing that.
Yeah, I read that you can control our mics and the camera.
Yeah, but how do I just
go back to the way it was?
Yeah, how do I just have it auto? Does anyone know? Maybe I just click here or something?
Here, if I try talking, is it moving back to me?
No, it's still on Kelly.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Control room.
Maybe you could take that capture off, maybe? I don't know.
I don't think that's settings.
You'll just have to moderate and actually move to whoever's talking.
I have to do work. This sucks, guys. Anyway, so Brittany is back. Brittany, can you hear us?
Brittany!
Can you type in the chat window if you hear us, so we know?
I'm typing in the chat window.
Oh, cool.
In any case, maybe we can...
You can just leave the camera on you, Sam. I'm sure everyone wants to see you anyway.
No one wants to see me.
Everyone wants to see you.
I'm a behind the camera person.
Sure.
Oh, she said, not sure if it's working on my end.
Yeah, I think it's the allow thing, because I had to do that.
All right. Well, always an adventure.
I think it's interesting if somebody's watching this and streaming after the fact. I wonder what this is like for them right now.
It's probably really
fascinating. Yeah, this is probably what every... I don't know. It's like web series creators. They're just people.
Yeah, web series creators.
Yeah. So
you entered us into the streamies, huh?
I did.
What topics did you enter us in? Like, how does it work?
So we entered for best drama. I think I listed us as a drama bit of a comedy.
Okay.
But that's always a hard thing for Red Scare, as our audience knows.
Sure.
And then I also entered us for best ensemble, best writing, best directing, best cinematography, best score. So we've actually won a best score award already, and we've been nominated for production design because we'd been nominated for best production design before as well. And speaking of score, here's a teaser for next week. We're going to have our composer Giona Ostinelli, who is a wonderful person, very fun, and so that's something to look forward to next week. But in the meantime, and also we'll know about the streaming nominations. So either we'll be very, very sad next week or very, very. But in the meantime, what should we talk about? Well, Brianne, why don't you tell us a little bit about what your experience of Red Scare was like? For joining the project, getting involved. I mean, how did you find Red Scare? I don't even know.
Yeah, I remember my manager. I had just graduated college, and I was at work, and she was like, "I really think you should, if you can sneak out on your lunch break, go in for this. It looks like a great project." And I was kind of stressed. I didn't know if I'd be able to leave, and I snuck out and made it over to Cats. Is that what? How do you say that place?
Cast with a Z.
With a Z. But immediately after reading it, I knew I wanted to be a part of it, but I went in initially for Lois, which is such a cute, funny character, and it went well. But I remember, Harry, I think you just said something right after it, like, can I give you different sides, and I was like, yeah, which is always a good thing, so I felt good about it still. And then it was Audrey, and then it made a little bit more sense too. And then I went in for Audrey a handful of times. And yeah, I think it was kind of a long process because I think once we were finally all cast, it was a few more weeks or months until we started shooting. So there was a lot of anticipation. It was really exciting. And then once we started doing the fittings too, that was really exciting because I love that time period. You know, it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the hair and the makeup. I mean, that's awesome. I love Mad Men, so this is my own Mad Men experience.
It's something actually that everyone has said on these group chats is how fun it was that first day to like walk in and everyone was in costume and it was like, oh wow, like we're in the 1950s now.
It makes everything so easy. Everyone's in like 1950s hair and makeup. The set looked incredible. Like before we even got into our hair and makeup, I remember seeing the set and thinking, holy crap, like they know what they're doing. It looked so good.
Yeah, the set was fabulous.
It looked amazing. And then we all got in wardrobe and it was like we were just already in the world. It was so easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the fun things that I think we might have mentioned before was that the actual, so the vault door. Oh, I mentioned the vault door, but the vault door just went into an actual vault, and so the way people got into and out of the set was there was this this cabinet that you would, or this shelving unit that you would push. And so like when we closed it in, it like you were really closed in there. There was no door to get out of.
No, and to start out with too, there were, how many of us were in there? I don't know, 8 of us? Like there were kind of a lot of people standing in the dark waiting for you guys to call action when we first opened it and then finally all come to find out.
That's funny. I guess it was 10, right?
It what?
It was 10 people, right? It was the whole... It was
10 at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
No one had died. Yes.
No one had died. Unlike episode 4, where lots of people have died.
So who's dead now? Gert's dead. Huey's dead.
Just spoil everything.
We're episode 4 chat. You better have seen episodes 1 through 3 if you're here listening to this chat right now.
Yeah. So at this point, we've actually got, even though it's only been 3 episodes, 4 people are dead. Officer Hoover is dead, and Huey is dead, sadly. And Gert and Irene died in the last episode, and so it's part of what's fun about episode 4 is that now there's enough
You
enough
did
information.
it.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey!
This is so fun.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Well, we can hear you, so that's a good start.
And I can see you.
Oh, you can? Let's see.
Yeah, I can see Brittany.
Oh, there you are. We've got Brittany.
Ew.
Yay.
Hello, everyone.
Cool.
Kelly's a genius.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, she is.
Kelly's a genius.
Oh, I fixed it?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm very good with the computers. I'm the unofficial computer person at every office I ever work in. So
So am I.
cool.
So this is Brittany. She, as you know, plays Lois. We were just talking about, we had just sort of transitioned, but we were talking about the first day of shooting and also how you got involved in the series. So if you have any thoughts on that, that's where we were.
Okay.
Jump right in.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Kelly actually asked me to come and audition for it, so I remember I went and auditioned and I dressed the part. Like I got all dressed up like that. My friend had this little like 50s dress of sorts or something, and so I went and did that, and I thought it was so funny, and I loved reading for it, and then I got it, and I remember we had a table read at the place that we shot at, and it was in this old like bank, abandoned bank, right? Or am I making that? That's right, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, that is.
Abandoned Bank in Reseda.
And it wasn't dressed yet when we went for the table read, so it just looked like a big abandoned place out in the middle of nowhere. And we were like, okay, we're all going to spend 10 days here in this weird place. And then I remember we showed up the first day to shoot, and it looked amazing. The bomb shelter had been built, and they did it so fast, and we were all so blown away by it.
Well, we were finishing it up at the like up until I think the moment we started shooting, we were still like hanging lights and stuff.
Yeah, and that was the only part of this whole abandoned bank that was dressed to look like anything. So we spent a lot of time hanging out in this big abandoned warehouse.
That's true.
Remember we had like couches and blow-up mattresses, and like we really like kind of made it home.
Well, Teresa, her parents came to visit one day or something, and they donated us a big blow-up air mattress, and that became like the place to hang out with.
That was the cool hangout spot.
Sure.
Yeah, it saved our lives.
They were long days. They were long days in the valley in the summer.
Yeah.
So definitely having a place for you guys to lay down was important.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that mattress is like the running theme of these group chats.
It was like everybody's favorite thing. I met Teresa's dad recently on something else, and
Oh, fun.
oh, thank God! Thank you so much for getting us that air mattress.
And snacks, lots and lots of snacks, right? That's
I
like
think I ate red vines for 10 days.
I ate peanut butter for 10 days.
it's so funny.
I'm sorry, I'm doing a bad job of being a cameraman, but
Manually?
yeah, I still have to do it manually, and I can't figure out how. So I'm like clicking through to everyone. Kelly, are you here? Yeah, you're here. Also, and what's weird is also it's not showing me like it shows me in the corner moving around, but you guys just freeze every time I click to someone else. So it's like I don't even know what faces you're making.
We could be gone. Yeah.
I'm making a crazy face.
Yeah, there was
Brittany's making a silly face now.
Mine is just everybody flashing through very quickly, and it's
Oh, yours is going automatically when we talk? Neat.
yeah, clicking to all of you guys, but it's really quick, and it kind of makes you a little dizzy.
Sure.
It's cool. I'm happy with it.
that's comforting then that maybe it's still doing it automatically even though me it looks like I'm just looking at other people. Do you guys see it jumping around other people? Brianne, Kelly?
I don't anymore.
Now I see Kelly.
Huh.
You. Brittany.
Cool.
Damn, somehow we both lost that capability. I'm not sure how.
Did you click on one of the people at the bottom?
I did. I can click them and move them. Now I'm looking at me.
Yeah.
Hi, me, and this weird, ugly painting behind me. And now I can see Brianne. Yeah, I have to click to see people. I'm at my office. They're paying me right now. So.
It's a hard day's work.
Making big bucks.
Yeah.
Well, then this is good. This is all good. Because that means that that other people aren't seeing this, and I don't have to moderate anymore. Now, we should talk about something other than tech problems.
Talk about Red Scare. I've heard it's a pretty fabulous web series.
We also did a Kickstarter campaign. I remember doing a Kickstarter campaign, and you guys had a barbecue at your house, and you invited the whole cast to the barbecue, and we all had to talk in our character to talk to people to donate money. So
Nobody
put it all in your character.
Nobody actually asked you to talk in character, as far as I know. I think you guys just all decided to do it.
Because I remember I did that too.
I did it.
I
I think whoever went first probably started it that way, and then it just kind of continued to all of you guys.
Probably Ellington or something. I feel like he would like
Yeah.
It probably was. Weren't he and Kelsey were trying to come up with a special brother-sister dance? Didn't they come up with a brother-sister? We should do Kickstarter video outtakes. Who has the raw footage of that day? That was a... We shot a lot of stuff at that barbecue.
When was that?
Like 2011?
July, maybe, of 2011?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. was at Tom's old apartment.
Yeah.
We had a
We
cookout.
had a rat party. I remember having a rat party for.
Sort of remember having a rap party.
Oh yeah, and that was at Tom's new apartment. That was crazy.
Does he still live there?
No, he's moved like 3 times. But some of my other friends, because he lived at that first apartment where the Kickstarter was, he lived with a bunch of my friends, and they all still live there. So I still go to that apartment all the time.
Aww.
But we don't have as many cookout.
The 2 actresses on the line, have you guys rewatched it all? Like, you've done so many projects since then. Like, what's it like watching it now? Or, because it's new to people at this point, but it's 3 years ago in your careers now.
I think it's always weird watching yourself.
Sure.
So when that amount of time has passed too, it's even weirder. Like there's some stuff where you're like, oh, maybe I could wish I could do that again, and then other things you're like, wow, that turned out really well. Like that really worked.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it really worked.
For sure.
Mom is a huge fan of Red Scare. I think
Your mom?
Yeah, might be 4,000 views that we have because she is like the town preacher of watching Red Scare.
I feel like moms really, really love Red Scare. My mom gushes about it all the time.
Like, how do I get into that password? Like, before we could even let it out, and I was like, Mom, you can't like share anything with anybody. And she's like, I know, I just want to watch it.
No spoilers. But I mean, and one of the things that I think is really cool about Red Scare, because I mean, you can only imagine how many times I've watched it. It's been a ton, and I've just been so impressed by you guys, because I've noticed so many things. Like I notice new things every time we watch the series, and new things that you guys did in funny choices. Like it's because you watch it enough times and you're like, oh my god, like Brittany is doing something hilarious in every single shot, even the ones where it's like you're back in the corner and out of focus, and it's like so like I notice all those things now and laugh a lot, and I think that's something that is it's something that I've noticed about Red Scare that I don't always notice about other things. I mean, does some dirt off my shoulder, but I can't take credit for it because it wasn't my decision. But it's just like you guys brought so much to this series and to these characters that like they really you all have a life of like every moment has a life of its own and kind of does interesting things beyond just like here's the clue that you're getting in this scene or here's the joke that we're getting in this scene.
The little character details are my favorite at this point. Rewatching, like I think I said on Facebook that there's a moment when Vivian is protecting everybody from when Dino has the gun, and she opens up her dress like when you stop someone from going out of the car because you stop short, you put up the hand seatbelt. She does that with her dress, and it's ridiculous. Like, what is she doing? She's blocking them from a gun with her petticoat. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But it's fabulous. It's so Vivian.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good one in episode 4. A really good character moment where so it's after the first half of the episode is everyone split up and talking, and then Judy screams and Lois and Dino come out of the freezer, and Audrey comes out from the bed, and you look at literally everyone in the scene is doing something really funny and interesting, and so like you can watch that shot 5 times and get a different joke every time.
That's cool.
And
Let's move Brianne on yours.
Yeah, we lost Brianne.
But she will hopefully rejoin us.
Okay.
Brittany, was this your first making out on camera?
No.
No. Because Brittany and I know each other from the Disney Channel stuff I used to work on. So there was no making out in the Disney Channel projects, but there was other stuff before that.
I remember I did an episode of Desperate Housewives, and I had to just be a girl. It was like very early on, and I was just a girl making out with a boy. And I had like 2 lines, and I'd be like, "Cool house," or something like that. That's when they got with a boy. And I remember for my audition, they're like, "Are you okay? Maybe not like kissing a random boy?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, totally. As long as you don't tell my dad." And stuff like that. Yeah, it was back then that I had to do it before.
It's really cute. Now we're all gonna have to Google the Desperate Housewives episode that Brittany did.
Please don't do it.
That was a pretty fun scene. I know that we all had trouble not laughing in the moment when you slap Dino and then kiss Dino and then slap Dino, right? Is it that way? It's like slap, kiss, slap? Is that the way it goes? I don't even remember. I should rewatch it. This hysterical moment. It's really, really funny.
Slap him and then I don't remember, but that was really fun. And I think Dating was like, just slap me, it's fine, just slap me. And let me like, slap him.
That was I remember watching the footage because I don't think I was there when you guys shot that, and I remember watching the footage later and being like, "Oh, she actually slapped him. That's not a stage slap. That's a real
no,
slap."
You can hear that.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Well, that's true, Sam. You and I both had day jobs.
At people multiple times. I've done that also on another show too, like the kid slap thing. But on that show, they had me do like a stage. They brought in like a stage coordinator guy, and like we didn't actually slap him.
Yeah, we didn't have a stunt coordinator on Red Scare. We were very figure it out as you go along and try not to get hurt.
Just slap them. We don't have.
There are some funny stunts coming up though, where you can. Oh man, I can't wait till we get to the blooper reel at the end. The blooper reel is really fun.
I love the blooper reel. I'm obsessed with it. I've seen it like 7 times. It's hysterical.
How does this? This may sound silly to ask them, but how does this work? Are people have they seen the episode already, and then we're chatting about it now?
Theoretically, people have seen up to episode 4.
Okay.
So that's the one that is the one where you make out with Dino, and I guess I can just say it, and the one where Audrey ends up dead at the end.
Oh yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
That's why Brianne left the chat because.
Sorry, you're dead on the show. You have to be dead in real life.
I had completely forgotten, Brittany. Brianne originally read for your role, and on that first day.
That's really.
We had already cast. That was what was so funny was we had already basically cast Brittany at that point.
Yeah.
Like she came in to read Lois anyway, and we were like, okay, I guess we'll listen to a Lois, and then we were like, here's a different set of sides. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's great. She was so great at that part.
Yeah. I saw her recently on what was it? One of the CW shows, Heart of Dixie, the one that Rachel Bilson's on. And I was like, wait, that's Audrey. I mean, Brianne.
I love that.
Always fun.
That's a good segue. Brittany, what are you up to these days? What are you working on?
I just finished doing a movie.
Oh, cool.
That was really fun. It's such a fun part to play, and we had a lot of fun. And then I recur on a show called The Middle on ABC. So that comes back from hiatus like in August. So, and then I did an episode.
You're still regularly working on The Middle?
Yeah, I recur, so like whenever they write me in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. I love that job. I think those people, like, they're so great over there, and everybody's so down to earth and so nice, and it's a really fun show. And my best friend is in it.
That's right.
Friends on the show, and we're actually best friends in it. So it's like great to work with your best friend. We're in the team together, so it's kind of like whenever they write me in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. I love that job. I think those people, like, they're so.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told by our friend at MetaCafe and 10K, Eric, that the question and answer was not active. So I activated it, but then I ended up hearing you guys double. Sorry. Yeah.
Aw, so people haven't been able to put in any questions? They might be sitting there forlorn.
Yeah, everyone just has tons and tons of questions. They've just been waiting for their moment. I'm not sure that's actually the case, but I have
It might
questions.
be. What's your question, Sam?
Well, that was the question that I had just asked.
Can you tell us about the feature, Brittany? Now I'm just curious. What's the feature that you did? Like what part did you get to play if it's not secret? Top secret.
Secret, but I can tell I play a girlfriend of I don't know, it's not really allowed to talk about it, I don't think.
Yeah, of course.
I got to like improv a little bit, and then that was fun, and like it was just like a fun set to be on. So
That's very cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, it's so fun. Everyone seems to be doing really well.
No, it's so nice to see everyone. I used to see you every once in a while. Are you still on that lot or no?
No, I just finished working up on the following.
Okay.
That shoots. I've been working on a bunch of shows that shoot in New York, so we've been in like random office buildings. Like I was on Culver for a while. This is some Hollywood inside baseball here. There are lots of New York. But yeah, I mean that's one of the fun things about being in Hollywood is like that I've seen Brittany a lot. I have seen Chelsea a bunch of times because when I was working on the firm, the 90210 casting was right below us, and they loved her at 90210, and they kept trying to find a really good role for her. And she was in like every other week just casting there.
Who was that?
That was Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 90210 office is where I would see you at.
Yeah.
The Sarah King's was right across from that too.
And do Kevin and his wife still play on the middle? Do you run into them too?
I've done a few episodes with Galadriel, and I do see them a lot. And then Kevin, I see Kevin a lot too. I mean, they're friends too, so they're like friends of mine. So I see them. Galadriel, and I always see her at all the middle events. She's there, and then we all have the same manager. So we
I didn't know that.
All three of us do. So yeah, he's great. And then yeah, Kevin just did like a short with my boyfriend, so they like got to be in this fun thing together. So yeah, it's been fun to like.
That's cool.
Brianne's back.
Hey. So for those of you who don't know, though, Brianne's back, so I'll go there. Our lead actor, Kevin Joy, his wife, Galadriel Steinman, is also an actor, and there's been a lot of Red Scare interaction on and off screen. That's been really kind of cool to watch. I didn't know that Kevin was your manager. That's great news for Kevin. That's cool.
Yeah, Kevin and Galadriel and I all have the same manager, so it's really fun.
Oh, do you see them all the time at auditions?
I see Galadriel because we both do the middle together, so we've done a few episodes together, and then I'll see her at like parties and things like that for her. And then Galadriel and I see each other occasionally at auditions sometimes, and then Kevin I feel like Kevin's worked with. I feel like I run into them a lot. We
Nice.
go to yoga together.
I feel like everyone in Red Scare is going to blow up, and then it's going to be like the Red Scare reel will be the, where were they then kind of thing.
It's like the Mickey Mouse Club of another generation.
Like Ellington is like a super rock star, you guys. Like I know that he's in a band, the guy who plays Huey, for those of you who don't know, but I took my niece to see their band like last December. It's called R5, and the lead guy is this really hot blonde guy from a Disney show, right? That show, Austin and Ally. And so I go in there thinking my niece is like so in love with him, and my niece comes out being like, Ellington is really cute. Like, do you guys have his phone number? Like, can you email Ellington and ask what he's up to? Like, totally fell in love with him. She's 10 years old. Walked out of there like so smitten. It was adorable. He's like this, like badass drummer in a rock band. Totally different.
Yeah.
Before Red Scare happened, I did a short film with one of the guys from R5, because they're all brothers and sisters except for Ellington. So they're 4 siblings. And then Ellington's like the extra guy they brought into the band. but I did a thing with one of the brothers, and this is before R5 like blew up crazy. And so I met all of the siblings, and their family's like so nice, and they were telling me about Ellington. They're like, oh, we have this other guy in our band. And then I remember a year later I did Red Scare, and I was like, oh, you're the other guy in their band. Now they're all just like rock stars.
That is so cool. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, their second album is coming out like any minute, and they're always touring, and you wouldn't recognize him. You know, he goes up there and he's like that. You know how it is, like in a different setting. He's like the cool drummer guy, like not the guy in the big glasses that we got so used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling them when you were offline, Brianne, that I saw you on Heart of Dixie. What else have you been up to? What have you been reading for and stuff?
Yeah, Heart of Dixie was really fun. I actually just shot a pilot for Comedy Central UK.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we got to shoot it in London, which was fun. And I got back like 2 nights ago, so I'm still kind of jet lagged and loopy.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not
You've
up to
also
anything, so
right?
Sam can ask a question.
I'm in an office. Where are you?
I am. I'm in an office. I'm not casting anymore. You guys are like my swan song. Like it was I know. It was such a fabulous experience that I was like, I'm done with that. I've scratched that itch. Now I'm gonna
watching it. It made me miss it so much. Like I missed those times and those days, and we had a really good time. It was like camp. It felt like a camp.
What's like camp?
Yeah.
Because it's like that condensed 10 days, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, I mean, there's something fun because it was like so much, like we were all kind of young and excited and hungry. I mean, not that we're not all young and excited and hungry, but it was like, there was something fun about the fact that it was like a really young cast and a really young crew, and we were all just like doing this thing, and like you can't get away with a 9-day shoot. You know, when everyone has kids and stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Not that Kevin didn't have a baby, but
in 9 days where we forgot to like put a weekend in for everyone. 9 days straight, not like 5 and then 2 and then 4. You know.
It was all one set, which is what made it hard because we were going to lose that. Guys, we just got a question.
Yay.
Humad Wahid, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. It's not really a question, but it is a comment. It is a very nice comment. He says he really enjoys the atmosphere of the show. What do the actors? I guess there's a question. The question mark just got moved to the middle. Brianne and Brittany, what do you feel? What do you think about the atmosphere? Did you like it? Was it what you expected? How did you kind of? And actually, I think it's if you'll permit me to expand on the question a little. What was it like, kind of? Balance, like finding that atmosphere, because it's such a mix of comedy and drama and kind of a little bit of a soapy thing too.
Do you want to go first, Brianne?
Go.
I think that the atmosphere of the show was great. I think a lot of us, I remembered doing, so the actual atmosphere, the feeling of the bomb shelter, I think was really nice and helpful for us when we were shooting. I think that the style of the show was something we all kind of found as we went. I remember there were times when we were like, wait, are we doing a drama? Are we doing a comedy? Or like, what are we doing right now? But I think the way it all turned out is really fun, and I think it played well. But I think it was something we found along the way.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I feel like we sort of went into it not trying to make it a drama or a comedy, and we just sort of like went with the flow and let the moments happen. And we were all kind of surprised when there were some moments that were really heartbreaking and really sad. And I remember it was like with like I think like the second death maybe, and it was sad. And I think that's when it all kind of hit us at the same time. Like, we're on to something here. Like, yeah, we have some really funny moments, but this is like really touching. But we weren't trying to go one way or the other. It was just the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like it's because I was writing it. It was like we were like, okay, and then episode 2, Huey dies, whatever, and then suddenly, I mean, maybe it was Lee or maybe it was us. I don't remember. I'll give Lee credit for it. I think he was the one who was like, I feel like we can push this death more. Like, oh no, actually, sorry, it was something we realized because in the original draft of the script, this is a secret for people. Lois and Officer Hoover were actually brother and sister, and he was like way older brother. I think you guys saw that draft.
Yeah.
And he was like, and so there was a whole bit that we kind of kept and then ended up cutting eventually, where he's like trying to maintain order in the first episode, and Lois is like stop acting stupid, and he's like, Lois, I'm in charge. Like, I'm a police officer. I'm not your brother right now. And it was their fallout shelter, which we ended up changing as well, because they were like the rich family.
Yeah.
But the reason we cut that was because, you know, we had the sad death in episode 2 where Irene is just heartbroken that her little brother has died, and we realized, like, for various reasons we couldn't really do that in the first episode, and it seemed weird that, like, Lois would be so blasé about her brother dying, but we needed to get to episode 2 to hit that dramatic moment, and so that's why we cut it. But yeah, so I mean, basically what I'm saying is that episode 2 moment felt like a real turning point for me too.
Yeah, like Irene doesn't stick around as long as Lois does. I mean, at least Lois makes it through episode 4. I won't say anything else. And so I think, like, all of the comedy that followed that, like, didn't feel right anymore if she had just lost her brother, whereas Irene doesn't have as much to do. She kind of is upset and gets a little drunk, and, you know, she doesn't go back to being kind of a regular person. You continue to feel the loss of Huey throughout. She murders someone, you know, murderer.
She, you know, you could argue it's self-defense, just misplaced self-defense.
Sure. Preemptive self-defense.
I don't know. I'm not going to say a bad thing about any of my characters. I like them all.
Sure.
So which one do you like the best? I'm just kidding.
I will not answer that question, partially because it changes all the time.
I also think it was sad when people started to die because it was like, oh, they're leaving us, and they're like going home, and this is their last.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there were less and less of us as the shoot went on.
It's true. And we shot chronologically, so it really did happen like that. Like when you died in the bomb shelter, you got wrapped on Red Scare, you know?
Didn't we? I think we ended up shooting some. We started off doing it in order, and then we ended up changing things up because you guys started getting busy literally while we were shooting.
Oh yeah.
Like, I remember, like, Brittany, you were recording a audition on tape with Kelly upstairs while we were shooting.
Yeah.
I remember, I was your reader.
A few times. Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. I can say that now with the benefit of hindsight. I was like, oh my God, like, Brittany's gonna leave, and we're not gonna be able to finish the shoot, and everything is ruined, and, like, Red Scare is done. And I was like, what are we gonna do? And it worked out okay. It worked out all right.
I think I had to change one day, and
there was a shoot day too that you had to.
Or something.
Well, but it was you, and then also Kevin got something.
Yeah.
And you got the middle too.
Yeah, suddenly, like, and there's so many group scenes, so it's not like we can be like, okay, we'll just, like, shoot the Kevin scenes on, you know, Wednesday and the Brittany scenes on.
Yeah.
You guys have every scene together, pretty much, and so that was.
And we were all new at this, so we all had day jobs, right? Like, not everybody, but a lot of the cast had, like, you know, jobs to go to where they had places to be. And Sam, you and I were going back and forth. I was at Disney Channel, and you were doing a TV show of some kind. What were you doing back then? I can't remember.
I was on the firm.
The firm, that's right.
Yeah.
And so we weren't there all the time either, like having to juggle everything.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we still had jobs at the end of that because we wanted to be in Reseda as much as possible.
Well, everyone was luckily really supportive of me at my job, and they were like, "Go do this thing. It sounds awesome," and that was pretty cool. Some of the writers actually even donated to the Kickstarter, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's
By the way, we're not actually worried about the misplaced question mark. It was come on, thank you for answering. If you have any more questions, we're happy to answer them. But thank you for watching, which is, you know.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking questions. That's fun. What the hell was something I was going to ask you guys though about the finding the roles or something that we had touched on, and I was like, I want to follow up on
We're
that.
talking about the atmosphere. Are you still there?
But also, um, I don't know. I don't remember what I was going to say. But
it was fabulous. I'm sure it was a fabulous question.
I'm really good at questions. Oh, that was stupid. Never mind. It was not even a question.
Now you have to.
I was just going to say that I spend a lot of time thinking about the fact, like it's easy to like write this stuff, and then like now after the fact, I spend a lot, and it's because they're actors now, and I love you guys so much that I was like, oh man, like Huey never grows up. Like, like Huey never like does anything else in his life. Like like he's a 15-year-old kid, and like something gets very real for me. And it didn't when I was writing that, but then after the fact, I was like, wow, this is like a really dark thing that happens.
Yeah.
That's
totally true. And we talked about you can't do a sequel to Red Scare because people are being killed off, but we did joke about doing like zombies in a abandoned mall or something, like using the same actors but doing a different crazy.
And Tom and I have actually talked about that a little bit, because what we would hope to do if if the audience keeps it up for Metacafe, we might be able to finagle a Red Scare season 2. And we'd love to do something like American Horror Story style, where we get as many of you guys back as we can, and do a different but related story, with the same kind of mix of comedy and drama and some scares and some mystery and obviously some soapy romance, and with a young cast, and we have some ideas about what that would be.
Wow.
But I don't want to. I mean, well, I'm torn, because I could pitch it now, but rally the audience. But I think I'll keep it secret. I can tell you guys.
Did you? The last time I looked, episode 3 had been watched by 165,000 people.
Yeah.
Like, for a word of mouth thing, that's really pretty fabulous. It's exciting.
And it just keeps growing. It's still getting viewership. And I mean, episode 3 is an episode that I really love, and it's particularly fun. Because it has a great mix of like the real some of the darkest things that happen in the show, but also like the drunken hilarity, and there's so much, there's so many fun moments in that episode where like people are just joking around and letting down their guard a little bit, and
yeah, that episode was very fun to shoot.
I think and that scene is hard though. That 8-person 5-minute scene.
Yeah, there also was that like long tracking shot I remember during like the drunk scene.
Oh yeah.
It was hard to set up or something.
Well, we did a bunch of long tracking shots, and they were all really. It became kind of it was something I didn't really think that much about until we went to time to score it, because then suddenly like those long tracking shots felt like they were almost like telling their own story a little bit, so if you go back and look at them, we actually tried to score them kind of similarly, but with changes as the show progresses, and so there's.
It really works for the. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I interrupt people. It really works for the mystery, because you're getting like little glimpses of people who quote don't know they're being watched. Like you get. It really helps, I think, with the tone of that. And then also, like, the space was really small. Like, I think they had to shoot like that a lot of times in order to make it feel bigger. Like, ultimately, it was a pretty small room, right? It was like the...
I mean, yeah. And I think that was something that Patrick and Lee, our DP and director, both came up with together, that I think was... those long tracking shots, because they weren't in the script or anything, but they really give an amazing sense of the space, because the Fallout Shelter, like, it's so cliche, but like the Fallout Shelter is kind of the 11th character, and the claustrophobia of that space, and getting a layout of that space is really important, and those tracking shots really do a great job of that. I mean, maybe this is something that maybe I just think this because have been in there and know it and everything, but it always feels to me like, just an audience member could draw a map of that fallout shelter just from watching the episodes, and it would be pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were pretty much actually trapped in there for almost 10 days.
We all have our own bunk.
Hamad has another question. He wants to know, he or she, you can tell us, were there any outside influences on the show? And I guess that's, did you guys have any influences that you brought to your characters? I mean, I can answer that later, but I'm curious because I don't actually know the answer to this. Did you guys think about movies or characters or anything like that when you started envisioning your characters?
I mean, I love the whole Mad Men world, so that obviously influenced me. And that also just really got me excited to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Audrey is a little bit of a little bit of a Betty Draper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Betty was probably like that when she was in high school.
Absolutely. That's great.
Just has a very specific kind of vision of what her life should be.
Exactly. And they probably grew up in the same way and were cheerleaders and
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
I think I just liked the whole. I think it was just exciting to be in that time period. I think the period of the youth was a really good thing to walk you into the character and what's happening and what's actually going on.
yeah.
We talked about a few things, Sam, during casting because that the tonal thing that we're talking about, the kind of challenge of straddling the tones, became a little bit sometimes difficult for the actors in the reading process. Like, where am I supposed to go from here? And so I think we kind of described it as mashups all the time. It was like a little bit Pleasantville and a little bit monster movie, know, and kind of the crossover of that. I can't remember what else besides Pleasantville we talked about.
I mean, and then a lot of influences that went into it in different ways. So one of our big influences was Agatha Christie novels, and then that was a big influence for us, and that was kind of how Tom and I bonded. That was kind of where we landed, because I used to pitch the show as a joke, and he was like, no, what if we do it and then there were none, and I love mysteries and really play up the mystery part, and so obviously Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a big big influence, and kind of the way that show balances the drama and the horror and the humor, and and it's obviously a teen cast as well, and vampires, obviously. Clue was a big influence, and I think I think it was a bigger influence at the scripting stage than it doesn't quite show up as much in the way that the series turned out, because I think Tom and I originally imagined it a little bit campier, which I think is I think it's better the way it turned out than.
Yeah, if you watch the Kickstarter video, it's a little campier, right? And
so
like you said, when we got there, the reality became a little bit different.
Yeah, and but I think that obviously that 50s murder mystery comedy thing, that's all the same as Clue, and then individual characters definitely had different the Twilight Zone also. The Twilight Zone is a big one. But Dino, we thought about Grease a lot.
He was straight out of Grease.
And for Judy, we went and looked at a lot of there's a really funny clip that I can find and post or something. But what's that movie called? It's called High School Confidential. It was this old movie from the 50s or 60s. There's this beat poetry scene, and there's this awesome beat poet who's she gets up there and she's like, "Tomorrow is a drag." And we're like, oh, this is who Judy is. But yeah, I mean, I think those we were influenced by a lot of things. And Hamad also wants to say that he is a big fan of Brianne, and he's leaving now, I think.
I have to leave now too, you guys. I have a meeting, unfortunately, that I have to go to. So, but it was so good to see you all. I'm gonna click through so I can see all your faces.
So good to see you.
Bye, Kelly.
We'll have to have a poster signing party soon, right? At some point.
Yes, that's coming up. That's coming up soon. As soon as we get our first advertising check from Meta.
Cool.
But yeah, all right. See you later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi, everybody. Are we all signing off? Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's give me 1 second just to make sure that there are no questions that we left unanswered. But I think
That's really sweet. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
it looks like I don't see any questions. So I guess now seems as good a time as any to wrap it up, unless you all have any final thoughts.
Well, it was so nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
It was so good to see you guys. And it was so fun to rewatch everything because of this. So that was fun.
Uh-huh.
It gets good, everyone. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it does get really good.
No, it already is really good, but it gets even better.
I think it both gets better and worse. And I'm not saying, I don't think it gets worse, but I think I get sad about everyone leaving. That's the thing. It changes. It changes because it starts off as a comedy with a big cast, and it slowly shifts into something else. But I think part of what's fun about it for me every time I watch it is that every episode feels a little bit different, and and that's something that we tried to do, and I think it turned out that way. So you watch every episode and you're like, oh, this is the one. This is the goofy intercutting one. This is there's one coming up in next week is kind of next week there's some fun fantasy elements and it's kind of like the Hardy Boys episode. We always talk about Lois's Nancy Drew's speech.
Each episode ends really well on its own, even, which is a testament to you guys. They're their own. Each episode is its own story. It has a perfect beginning, middle, and end, and you can even appreciate it just on that level. They're really good. You guys are great.
But yeah, so tune in next week for episode 5, and feel free to keep asking questions in between hangouts. We'll answer them live later. And next week we probably will have, don't quote me on this, but we'll probably have Heather Howe, who plays Vivian, joining us, and we'll have Giona Osmanelli, our composer. So we'll get a little bit of the cast and a little bit of the crew. But yeah, thanks, Brianne. Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you.
I'm trying to turn this off if I can figure out.
Okay, it was so nice to see you all. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Sam.